guys, welcome to the next video on the SQL course. Let's move ahead from the previous video where we have seen the importance of null characteristics and what are null values. Let's move to the editor and write the code to show you what is the difference and how it is useful. So we have this books table in our database. Let's insert a value. We have two columns, but we'll be adding value to just one column. Name, values. Let us add the alchemist book. So it ran successfully. What do you think? What should come up in the price column corresponding to the alchemist book? Let's see. Star from books showing as null, and that pretty much makes sense because we did not enter any value in that particular column corresponding to the alchemist. What should we do if we don't want the column values that it should be null? What should we do for that particular case? Moving forward to the next slide, let us create another table name books1. So for creating books1, we'll add a mandatory condition of not null beside the data type of that particular column name. So in this case, it is the name of the column, the data type, and we'll have to add this particular word not null. That would tell our code that this particular column, it is mandatory for the user to enter a particular value, otherwise it would be an error which would come up. Let us create another table books1. So create table books1. The column names which should be present here also will take just two columns, name and the price. First is name, we'll enter the data type and the mandatory condition of not null, and the other column is price. This is an int and this should also be not null. Successfully ran. Let us see by doing a select star. It's showing an empty set, and that is exactly correct. Let us enter some values in this particular table. So I'll do insert into books1. I'll write the name and the price. I will enter just random values, book 1 then price is 100. The second row should be books 1 2, price is 200. Two rows have been added. Let us do a select star to just confirm the rows have been added. That's correct. So we'll just add a book value and then we'll not add the price. Let us see what error comes up. So I'll just insert into books. Let's add a book value. Book 32. I'll not add the price of the book. I'll just add the name of the book. What do you guys think? What should come up when I hit enter? It ran successfully, but as you could see, it has shown me a warning. And that warning, it has come up because the row I had mentioned that it should be not null, but we're not giving any value here. Let's see what comes up when we do a select star from books 1. Shows as 0. Now this time it is not showing as null, it is showing as 0, and that makes sense because in the code we have told that it should not be null. So by default it is giving a value as 0. We'll be coming to, what this value should look like. Let's say if a user is not giving any value, we'll be coming to that particular characteristics also, and that is covered in the default value. So if I do a describe books 1, you could see the fifth column default, and it is showing as null. And so the thing which should come up when we are not entering anything, in the not null column, that is defined by this particular default column. So by now I think we might have got an idea what does a null tells about. This is what I was talking about, getting rid of the null values. That means we need to give a default value to our columns. Let's create another table. This time it is books 2. I'll show you guys. So create table books 2. I'll give the name, the columns which should be present in our table. The columns have the same data type, but this time we'll be adding this default which you are seeing here. In this case, default is unnamed. I've just mentioned some values. The price by default, it should come up as 20. So create table books 2 will mention the table names, name varchar 200, default, name the book, the other is price, is an int, the default is 20. Ran successfully. Let's do a select star, and it should show an empty sets. That's correct. Let us enter some values in our books 2 database, and then see some characteristics insert into books 2. We'll write the name of the columns, the values. Firstly, I'll just give some values for both the columns, and in the next example I'll just enter values for just one column, and we'll see what should come up in the next column. It shows me an error and she's telling me books 2, written the wrong name of the book. So it's not book 2, it's books 2, and shows that we have updated our record. Let's do a select star from books. Two books have been come up. Now we'll enter a record in this particular table where we'll just write the book name and will not write the price. Let's see what comes up by default. So insert into books 2, write the name, write the values, books, sorry, book 3, whatever. Just hit enter. One row affected. Let's do a select star from books to tada. So we could see that in the third row now 0 does not come up. Rather, by default we have given the 20 value, which should come up in our in the row which does not have, I mean, the missing values, or which we by default which we are not giving any value. So in this example we have seen the 20 value comes up by default because we have mentioned 20 in the code above. So that's the reason it is coming up. So that's how we get rid of the null values, by adding the default value. So I hope you have enjoyed this particular video, and the main motive to explain everything from the very basic level and to a very advanced level is I'm also catering to all the audience which are listening to this particular lessons. Some of you might be having knowledge about all of this, but I want I want to give the lesson to all those people who are just starting from the very basic level. So I hope this lesson is very useful to you guys, and hope to see you in the next video, some more stuffs. Thank you.